Alright YouTube, what's going on? Captain Crush is here in the mix, back again on Taco Tuesday, ready to break this down. And I know yesterday I joked around and said it was going to be a 10-minute video, but today is actually going to be a 10-minute video. I was in doctors and dentists all day today. I have a real life, believe it or not. Captain Crush breathes just as you do. I'm a human being with obligations and things to take care of. I edit all my own videos. I'm sorry for the 5 o'clock drop again, but this is just the fact of life that happens. I'm covering MLB, I'm covering NBA. I did all my projections in the Discord. It's done. Posted the plays that I like there, a couple of them, and now I'm going to talk about some things and prepare for my live stream. Hopefully, you get in the mix and you're there. Now, for comment guy who wanted to rip Captain Crush a new one, I'm pretty sure I blocked him because he was just way out of bounds and way out of line. I had to smack him back into reality. The fact is this, yesterday, the Brooklyn Nets game blew out. So, Mikal Bridges still cashed, Watford cashed, Cam Thomas, guess what? He didn't cash because he didn't play the entire fourth quarter. They were always down by 30. It was never a game. That happens. As far as CJ McCollum goes, they got blown out of the gym the first half, and then they got it together in the second half, but it was too little, too late. They got beat. McCollum had 3 turnovers, or he cashes his fantasy. Zion cashed his free throws, which was my favorite play for him. Also, his points cashed. Devin Booker had that blow-up game that I talked about. Bradley Beal hit. I mean, it wasn't as terrible as people make it out to seem, but because they always they're addicted to it. They're like little degens making 6-leg slips every time because all they do is donate and deposit day after day, night after night. They refuse to know their role and make smaller slips and grind out a profit. They just want to get rich overnight. Captain Crush says this, miss me. I have zero interest. If you make 6 legs in a parlay and it doesn't hit, go cry to your woman, because me, Captain Crush, and the rest of the Cord family, we couldn't care less. Everybody misses 6-leg slips around here. They're not supposed to hit every day. They won't hit every day. It ain't that easy. If it was, everybody'd be doing this. Now, let's get into this. The first thing that I'm going to talk about right out of the gate is dunks, because we got a lot of the usual suspects right here in the mix, and they're looking crispy on Taco Tuesday, baby. They're looking crispy. We got Wemby at 2.5 dunks. My brothers and sisters in Christ, whenever I see Wemby at 2.5 dunks, I don't care if it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Flex Friday. Captain Crush takes it. It's that simple. Okay, so Wemby's in the mix. But the main one that I like, woo! The man was at 3.5 just a couple of days ago. Now he's in a pace-up matchup. There's no true big on the Wizards to get in his way. Giannis can absolutely feast. My only fear, the one reservation, just like yesterday, he may not play a full game. It may be a blowout. It likely will be a blowout, but you can never count on blowouts because as soon as you do, they come out and they make it a game. But Giannis at 2.5 dunks has to be considered. It has to be considered to be in your lineups. You have to consider it. I know I just said considered 3 times because that's the facts. So you got Wemby and you got Giannis, and then AD was at 3.5, then at 3. Now he's back to 2.5. You can also consider him. All these 3 have been a wagon all season long. Again, these are ranked in order. Giannis, then Wemby, then Davis. Now clear the board. Those are my favorite dunks. I also think that Rudy Gobert facing the Rockets without a true big over there, since N'Goo is out of the mix, he has push equity and he can cash that any given day twice on Sunday. So we're done talking about dunks. Captain Crush is flying through here. And comment guy, I'm telling you right now, just as sure as water is wet, just as sure as it's too windy for me to play golf right now, I'm telling you, if you go in my comments and you have anything to say that doesn't make sense, I will slap you back into reality. If you want to throw smoke at Captain Crush, you best be ready to get fire, okay? Because I don't play games, buddy, unless it's time to play games. And the comment section, it ain't it. Now I'm getting these lottery tickets out of the way early, baby. Captain Crush is giving you guys the lottery tickets early. Now these are my favorite. Yesterday, Bridges, 3-point attempts, cash it, baby. Where am I going today? Bang. D'Angelo Russell, you know he likes to splash a couple threes from behind the line. Look at that. Woo! 11, 6, 9, 12, 10. He's in the mix. You got push equity. Next, it's Jordan Poole. No Kuzma. We like guards. He's going to start. We like yards against the Bucks. Oh, Cat Beverly this. I don't give a dang about Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly, as far as I'm concerned, he's the cone. Know it, love it. I don't care. And then the big ragu, Dante DiVincenzo. All he does is chuck threes. I'm going right back to the well. And even though Grayson Allen hooked me yesterday and it wasn't pretty, I still will go right back to the well. I don't care. You cannot get me to stop. I won't stop. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, ready to do the Lord's work. These are the lottery props. You can't have more exposure than one slip max, but you got to consider the lottery props because who doesn't love a good sweat? And you didn't think I was going to talk about Jalen Green, the taco, did you? Absolutely. 9.5 3-points attempted. Worst matchup on paper. He's going to have to chuck threes to keep it close. He's going in the mix. Now, once again, these are ranked in order. Russell, Poole, the big ragu, and Jalen Green. Pick your poison, pick your fancy. Captain Crush doesn't care. But at the end of the day, if they sell, they sell. And there's one more lottery prop that Captain Crush has for you. And that's over half an offensive rebound. Austin Reeves, baby. He's last 5 green beans. You hate to see it. But the man has been getting offensive rebounds. I'm going to go check what I have him projected for. And the fact of the matter is this. I don't even have him projected to get 1 offensive rebound. He's projected for half an offensive rebound, which is right where the line is, brother. So you can go there or you can be square and faded. Captain Crush doesn't care. If you got the stones, you can take less in Uno reverse. I simply do not care. I'm just throwing it out there as the bow on the cake, on the wrapping, on the icing. Mix those words together, jumble it up, figure it out. We're moving on. Next, I'm going to talk about the man that was the play of the day, and I said it just as sure that it was going to get bumped, and it did. Bang! Captain Crush types it out. Bang! Post it. Bang! Bumped. Immediately. Within a microsecond. Now, truth be told, Captain Crush was way ahead of the game, just like he always is. Everyone else is behind the curve. Bang! Captain Crush is always ahead of the curve. Don't you forget it. I promise you. I locked this in last night. 10.5 points. He's now up to 12.5. It's crispy at 10.5, but at 12.5, I don't condone it. I certainly am not going to tell you to take it, because rest assured, he could go out there, play 20 minutes out of nowhere, and literally shoot 0 for 8. It wouldn't surprise me a bit. Now let Captain Crush direct your attention right over here to one Will Hardy, the coach of the Utah Jazz. This is your man. Take a good look, fella, because this is the man. This is the guy right here. He literally can make or break Captain Crush tonight. He will decide if I win or lose coin tonight. Absolutely. He's selling for a living. His rotations are absolute dog water. One day, he'll play his starters 10, 15, 20 minutes. The next, he plays them for 40 in a blowout, a.k.a. a night ago against the Kings on the road. They were down 22, and he played them until the very last whistle. Now, if that was standard, if that was the norm, Captain Crush, I applaud you. You get an applaud, a clap from Captain Crush, baby. But that ain't normal. He knows it. You know it. The guy in the back eating popcorn knows it. Everybody knows it. So the fact is, what's he gonna do, brother, with the rotations today? I have no idea. I'm not a mind reader. I dang sure ain't a fortune teller. And I don't have a crystal ball. So what I do have is this, a thinking man's brain. And all I can do is tell you this. Bryce Sensabaugh is going to go out and maybe, just maybe, if he plays 25 minutes, he's going to get in the mix. And because they bumped this, I got it at 18.5. I got this at 10.5, 18.5. Now, the only last man standing, bang, his fantasy score. Got him projected for roughly 23. Is it going to be a sweat? Is water wet? Of course it's going to be a sweat. He had 34 last game, but he shot 10 3-pointers, 14 from the field, but he played 34 minutes. I can't tell you he's going to play 34 minutes tonight. If I could, this would literally be the square of the century. Now, I'm praying that he plays 25 to 28. I'll be ecstatic if he plays 34. If he plays 34 and he sells this line, I will do a giveaway like you've never seen before, because 34 minutes at 22.5, he best get this job done. But I can't predict his minutes because I can't predict Will Hardy. Look at this guy. That is a face that's coming to sell your coin. I promise you, buddy. I promise you. So we got to know that we're gambling here. But Bryce Sensabaugh, if you can take the alternate lines, baby. The alternate lines, which now Sleeper and Chalkboard, which I'll post up here in post, now both have alternate lines. Congratulations, Sleeper. Congratulations, Chalkboard. The links are in the description. Get in the mix. You can get Bryce's points in PRA at 15.5, 17.5, and 10 on both of those apps. So get in the mix. Now, the thing is this. He's a rookie. They have nothing to play for. So the fact is, he might be saying we have nothing to play for. Let me just run my young guys. And that is the theory that I'm going with. And keeping with that same theory, I think you could take a look at one Taylor Hendricks. Now, I don't care about the matchup because the matchup is trash. But if these young guns are going to be playing 28, 30, 35, 36 minutes, with the training wheels taken off, you got to consider them. They're matchup proof. Doesn't matter because if they get the minutes. So this is something that you can consider as well. Mr. Hendricks, and I ain't talking Jimmy, but Bryce is the priority. Comment guy, if he sells, he sells. I'm telling you right now, it's risky. But no one has the stones to risk except Captain Crush. So I will make it my play of the day. If you can find him at 17.5 PRA or 10.5 points, that is the play of the day. You comment guy and the rest of the YouTube faithful, you have to make that decision if you're going to want to touch him. Pause and take his fantasy score. That's up to you, buddy. I ain't here to spoon feed. I'm just here to spit the facts. Read between the lines. I'm begging you. So next, we got to talk about Jordan Poole. I told you about his 3-point attempts. His fantasy scores in the mix. Guards against the Bucks. Miss me with the, well, Cap, Patrick Beverly, yada, yada. I'm not interested. I don't care. You got to consider Denny with no Kuzma. Denny and Poole. I still like Poole's attempts most of all. I think that's the one that I'm going to be interested the most. I think Bobby Portis is always in the mix, especially in that type of a matchup. Bobby can go off. Middleton's in the mix. I'm not telling you. When I tell you guys they're in the mix, it means investigate further. It doesn't mean that, oh yeah, you got 100% play him. It just means investigate further on your own time. The whole point of my YouTube, okay, is to get you guys thinking and get you guys a summary of the slate of where to go. You still have to do the legwork, buddy. If you're in my Discord, I do 90% of the legwork for you. Projection sheets, live streams, playlist, all of it. I answer your questions. But for the YouTube faithful, guys, this is a primer, okay? Now, next person I was going to talk about was Miles McBride, and my oh my, I got him at 23.5. They bumped him up to 24. Why? Why not? He's going to play 40 minutes. I don't care about the matchup. I don't care if his name is Captain Crush or Lewis, aka the Joel Embiid in my Discord. If someone's going to play 40 minutes, he's getting 24 fantasy points on average. All he has to do is average half a fantasy point per minute. And does Miles McBride check that box? You can bet your bottom dollar. I don't like the bump. I don't like that PrizePicks is trying to finagle me, but I locked him in at 23.5, so now I'm passing it on to you. Again, you can make that decision, but if I told you he was going to play 40 minutes, you'd want to have exposure, wouldn't you? Well, Miles McBride just may play 40 minutes tonight. Now, I'm scrolling through this dumpster on Taco Tuesday. Yo, Donnie's out of the mix. Maybe you have to consider Max Strus. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but you got to consider him. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going there. I think I would probably just stick with old Mobley, possibly. Maybe Allen. Stick to the live stream. I'm not going to discuss this there. I know Garland's in the mix by default with no Donnie, but I'm going to talk about that on live stream. Then you have the Spurs. You got Sohan. You got Vassell. They're out of the mix. And they're playing a terrible matchup. They're playing the worst team you could possibly match up against. So Julian's in the mix. Trey Jones is maybe in the mix, but I'm not going there. And Wemby's always in the mix. But personally, I'm sticking with the dunks and turnovers possibly if I can find it at 3.5. But Julian would probably be the guy by default. Same game, same injury situation. Easier path, fella. Write that down. And then we have the premier late game, the Warriors versus Dallas. And you already know Luka's always in the mix. His first half, let Captain Crush see what it is in real time. And I got to wrap this thing up. 28 PRA, whatever. Remember, Captain Crush has rules, baby. There's rules. Whenever Luka's below 28, you take it. If he's at 27.5, it's priority. At 28, 1 to 2 slips max. You do have push equity. It's always in the mix. I don't care. If he sells, he sells. I don't care. It's It's just too low for what Luka's capable of. It's been as high as 30, just like Nurkic last night. Well, Cap, he sold me 2 games ago, but what did he do last night, baby? Booker and Nurk, they respected all the coin. In fact, my 2-man with those guys hit. And then Curry, you have to always consider Curry at 38.5 fantasy score. It's extremely low for what he's capable of. I always say it. It's part of my rules. Dallas's defense has been trending up. It is going to be a sweat. It is type scary, but it's also to be considered. I took the alternate line on Curry at 24.5 over on Chalkboard and Sleeper. They're having a special bonus on Chalkboard where they boost this line. You get paid double for it right now. I haven't projected for roughly 27, but let's be honest. Curry's been in a little bit of a slump lately, but so was Booker. And what did Booker do? Bang! He dropped 50 in a defensive matchup on the road and smoked them all, buddy. And one man saw it coming, and that was yours truly, Captain Crush, because I always tell you guys, these guys are professionals. They have upside. They don't stay in slumps forever. You try to target the buy low spot, and sometimes you get a 50 burger. So Curry's always in the mix. You got to consider him. Now, before I get in the last person that I'm going to talk about today, I want to tell you guys, if you do want to get in the Discord, you go to CaptainCrush.net. Buy now, gold package, bang, 83 cents a day, trending as always. What's new? I have all the packages. It gets you into the Discord where you can get in the mix. You get my MLB projection sheet, which Dilly right here says he made this slip with MLB projections, and guess what? He cashed because I make and agonize over these projections every day, MLB, NBA, to help you guys cash. That is what I do. So you can go in and make your own reads. And it looks something like this. It's going to be something along the lines like that. Logan hedged that game. I'm kind of upset. Shout out to Logan. I'm kind of upset that I missed this and didn't have a chance to see it while they had all these lines up in the 30-point blowout. I would have been in the mix right there with you, buddy. Congratulations on the 36X. That's absolutely insane. I wish you would have had a hundo on it, but guess what? 360 is nothing to sneeze at. Let me talk to you. Rome had a big day in MLB. Iceberg had a couple big slips. I had this slip live. This was made on the live stream cash. This was my 2-man before lock. Cash that. Cash my 4-man. I gave that out on the live stream. I took a shot with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese for the narrative. Cash that. As you can see, Mikal Bridges. And then this was my 4-man. I gave this out on YouTube. I flexed it. I told you guys to flex it. 1.5x. It's fine. I'll always take 1.5x. Miss me if you're going to cry about 1.5x. Spartans holding it down. There was a bunch of people that still find W's. If you're using the projections, you will always find a way to a W. Now, my live stream's going to be at 5:30 Central today. So again, CaptainCrush.net, or you sign up with any of my partners. Now, the last person that I'm going to talk about is Josh Giddey. No shy, elite matchup. What are we going to do here? You notice something, chat? Oh yeah, PrizePicks. They don't have a fantasy score up for Mr. Giddey, or it would be my de facto play of the day. But they do have his PRA. You got to get in the mix here. You can talk about his points. You can talk about his rebounds. You can talk about his assists. You can talk about it all. But at the end of the day, wouldn't you rather just have exposure to all of it and target his PRA at 34.5? I think so. I took the alternate line at 31.5. He just played in a tough matchup versus the Knicks. We got that W, and he put up 25 R plus A. So this matchup's going to be even faster paced, less defense. Josh Giddey is in the mix, and I will go down with the ship. I don't care. Now, when I made my projections earlier, chat, because some of the Discord people are going to see it, Josh Giddey, Shai Alexander was scheduled to play. He was doubtful, questionable, but he was still in the mix, so I factored him in. Without Shai there, Josh Giddey gets a massive bump. Remember, I was in the dentist all day today. I had obligations. I was running behind at home, so I was late to the news. But the fact is, I had my computer running and simulating for me, so now Josh Giddey, 34.5 PRA. We'll discuss this again on the live stream. I like the alternate line better, but you have to have some exposure to him in some way. That's just my opinion. And then because it's Taco Tuesday, I'm going to throw in one more play that I like, and it was Framber Valdez. Whoa. Oh my goodness, guys. This is happening in real time. I just took less at 32.5 on this, and they just moved it down to 28.5. My goodness, a 4-point differential is insane. Captain Crush, I gave it to the court. I gave it to you guys. I told you. Hopefully you got it in. If you didn't, you snooze, you lose. But the fact is, I typed it out in the general chat. I thought I'd had more time than that, but you never know. It's a volatile market, baby. We got value. We locked it in. Captain Crush is going to be covering baseball all summer long, so hold tight. I was going to give you that play, but I'm not going to tell you to take it with that bump. If you want to gamble and take it, so be it. I won't begrudge you a bit. I covered everything that I wanted to talk about on today's YouTube. I will talk about more on the live stream. I hope to see you guys there. Hopefully this video is not too long. I appreciate each and every one of you, even the weird comment guys. Here's the salute. Good luck in all your contests. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.